Now to Nigeria, where after months of unresolved industrial action between the academic staff, Union of Universities and the federal government, education activities are set to resume at public universities in the country. Now, the strike action, which kicked off in March, has truncated the academic calendar of institutions in the West African nation. Now, joining me to discuss this is a lecturer at the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile Ife, Osun State, Nigeria, Dr Misbau Lateef. Good morning, Mr.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, now,
how are you?
Good morning, yes. Now, starting off, can you tell us some of the main points of agreement that led to the strike being called off?
Well, I think the important place or way for me to start is to say that I am actually not a member of ASUU. There are different academic unions within the academic society or within the university, and I belong to the other group. You may be aware of this other group that is currently undergoing a registration process, Congress of University Academics, CONUA. So, but then, of course, I'm aware that ASUU, the only registered, academic staff, as I speak now, has been on strike for some time. And I understand also that they have been meeting with government and they've reached some agreement, which has led to call off of the strike. Well, for me, really, well, I don't know. It is a good news, and I think it's something that we should all be happy about, that the stalemate has now been brought to an end. But the question remains, to what end? What exactly has been achieved? What exactly has come out of this strike? If you ask me, in my own opinion, nothing really has been achieved. I tell you, nothing, if you ask me. It is the same cycle of going over a strike period, elongated strike. As a lawyer, I recognize the fact that going on strike is a labor, union or industrial relation union, right, or something like that. People have a right to proceed on strike if they have to. But what is strange in this part is this kind of prolonged or elongated strike that you have. What you see in other climb, the so-called Senate climb, is maybe 2-3 days or 5 working days. But this idea of going for strike for months, for even sometimes almost a year, for me, these are byproduct of military mentality that we should have done away before now. In the long run, they came to the same table. In the long run, the IPs that they rejected in February was used to pay their salary. Some of us have been on that IP since February. The point is, the energy devoted to condemning or rejecting IPs could have been devoted, to fine-tuning it. What are the challenges with these IPs? I recognize the reason why they are on strike, or in principle, we all understand all of those things. But the question is, shutting down the school, in the manner that our colleagues have always done, is not the best way. Has even done its own damage to the system. This is not, however, to absolve government of its irresponsibility. Government, over the years, they have always failed and failed and failed. We know that, but we don't compound the problem while trying to solve it. So I'm not a member of ASUU. I really want to emphasize that. But then I celebrate the fact that the stalemate, has come to an end and they have called off the strike. Our students can now come back to school and all of that. But I've never really been on strike. I also want to clarify that I've never been on strike.
Yes. Now, I'm pretty sure what most people are thinking, what most people want to know is what can be done, what can be done so that this doesn't happen again? What can be done by the government and what can be done on the lecturer side as well to make sure that such a strike doesn't happen again?
Okay, I will start with government. I would say government should wake up to their responsibility. They should be more proactive. They should make provision for these facilities. They should take the education sector very seriously by investing very hugely, into this sector, realizing that the future of our country and our youth depend on this sector. And of course, there are other stakeholders, the academic who are used to going on strike. Okay, well, I think it is high time they develop another strategy to negotiate or discuss with government. This elongated idea of strike or prolonged strike is an anathema. It doesn't make any sense, if you ask me. After all, people will go on strike and then they will come back 1 year after, they still want to collect money for the job they never did. So the point that people will keep, they will be motivated if they know that they can be on strike for 1 year and they will still be paid. So there won't be motivation not to go on strike unnecessarily. So I think all stakeholders should realize that we all have roles or part to play in this thing. And if you don't play a role well, we may also be held liable for contributing to the rot. So the blames are everywhere, but I give more blame to government. And I think government should be more responsible, like I said, and proactive, so that this event will not recur again.